Okay. All right. Hello, Terry Foxers. Today, welcome to our April 12th kickoff call. We're just going to wait just a couple more seconds to have more people join the call. Thank you for joining us. It's amazing to have everybody here.
I know, but I'm trying to do it on my earbuds.
Oh, I do like this part of the Terry Fox calls. As everybody settles down and gets their earbuds or their headphones, or all the things now that apparently make us so incredibly savvy, which is very exciting.
Hello,
Coffee.
Hello, Terry Foxers. Okay. Oh, I do love this. Okay, we're just going to get going in 1 minute, and then we're going to be able to greet everybody. Everyone, I will say, if everyone can put their hello, Lumsden, Saskatchewan. Nice to have you on the call. If everybody could have their volume up, we're going to be playing a little bit, a little treat for you guys today, and just to encourage you to keep your volume up in case you can't hear it. Okay, fantastic. Now apparently, it looks like, I don't know if this is hi everybody. So I'm not Terry Fox. My name is Martha McClue. I am the provincial director, or sorry, actually that's my old, oh my God. I'm the person in charge of the school and community fundraising programs for Canada. So I used to be the provincial director for Ontario, but that seems like ages ago now. It's amazing to have you all here with us today as we prepare for the anniversary of Terry dipping his leg into the Atlantic Ocean, April 12th, 1980. You're an incredible group of Terry Foxers, and it has been an honor and privilege to see the kind of effort everyone has made, not only over the past 42 years, but frankly, for the past 3 years alone, which have been harder than I think we could ever have imagined. So it's a delight to be able to be on the call with you guys today, share some of our favorite Terry Fox moments from one of our favorite Terry Fox people, and prepare for this year, which is going to be super exciting year. I do also want to say that we're about to send out a newsletter to all of our Terry Fox Run organizers that are on the call across Canada. We're going to be sharing the results from last year's Terry Fox Run. But it was, just to give you a little heads up, it was an amazing, amazing success. We came just a hair off 30 million. If any of you have about, I don't know, 400,000 lying around you'd like to donate to last year's event, we'd happily accept. But it was a fantastic year, and it was an incredible bounce back from the tough years of COVID, and it is a credit to every single person on this call. So, I wanted to share that little information with you guys. I also wanted to welcome, we got so many of the staff here today. They live in gratitude for you guys. It's been a crazy little time. I don't know if you heard what happened recently. Denise will, she'll refer to it, of course, but we've been a little busy shipping shirts. I think many of you have received them, or if you haven't received your complimentary one, it will be coming shortly. But the staff are on the call. And of course, we've got some of Terry's family as well, and it's just an honor to for all of us to be here to thank you and to kick off this year. So I am going to throw it across to and thank you guys. I love how you're introducing yourselves in the chat. The chat is an amazing part of the call, and it really makes us feel, for such an enormous country that we live in, it makes us feel like we're close and family. And especially on this weekend, we are grateful that you guys would join us, when I'm sure you have family with you as well. Although maybe you thank us because you have family with you and you can join us for this hour. I know I do. Okay, so I'm delighted to introduce one of my most favorite colleagues, Mr. Fred Fox. Fred is going to be sharing a little bit with us today, as he always does on this important day. Fred, would you like to take it away? I know you're going to throw it back to me in a second, but I'll just prepare here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, great to see everybody out there. I don't know what I've done with my screen here, but I was seeing everybody earlier. But great to see everybody and lots of faces and names I know. And I just, if I can single out one person, I just want to say hi to Vern in Prince Albert because we were texting earlier in the week. So, but great to see everybody. And yeah, I'm gonna kind of send this back to Martha. But one of the things that we did a week or so ago with the all staff call here at the foundation is we always have a Terry moment. And I always like to, whenever I need a little bit of a kick in the rear end, I always go to some of the archived CBC footage, whether it's video or audio. And I found a audio piece by CBC the day before Terry left on April 12th. And I think, back then, Terry wasn't speaking to those big groups that he was meeting, standing in front of, whether in Toronto or in Southern Ontario, but he really shares the story and why he was, attempting this huge adventure across the country and being interviewed by a reporter in Newfoundland. So Martha, along with some photos, take it away.
Thanks, Freddie. Just a reminder to put up your volume a little bit. Terry's, as Fred said, is being interviewed on the phone. So the wonderful reporter sounds really clear, but Terry can sound a little bit muffled. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, share my sound, and here we go.
How old are you, Terry?
I'm 21.
All right. And how long ago was it that this cancer struck you?
3 years ago in March, I had cancer. I had a malignant tumor in my right leg, in the knee of my right leg.
How did you feel now when they told you that you had cancer in your leg?
Well, at first it was a total shock because the cancer had grown and the pain had developed in my leg over about a 5-month period, and I had no idea what it was. I figured it might be a cartilage problem or something, and the day after I went into the hospital, I learned that I had a malignant tumor, and that 3 days later my leg was going to have to be amputated. It was a real shock at first, but I took it right from the start as a challenge, and I never got depressed or upset about it, and I fought it right from the start. So actually I had a lot of help from friends and relatives, so I never really got down at all.
How much of your leg have you lost?
I've got about 5 inches left in my thigh.
Below the knee?
Above knee.
Above the knee?
Above knee, yeah.
Okay. Now, most people, if you ask them to go down to the corner store for a loaf of bread, they give you an objection. And here you are about to set out on a 5,000-mile journey with just one leg. How are you going to manage that?
Well, I really trained very hard. I ran over 3,000 miles in the last year, and I really trained hard, and I'm really motivated to try and help out people that with our disabilities, try and set an example for people, because a lot of people, I know that there's 2 groups of people with disabilities. One group who feel sorry for themselves and get depressed and kind of crawl in a hole and want people to feel sorry for them and get all the help. And there's another group of people who take a disability as a challenge and fight it right from the start, and they're very happy, and everything they do is a challenge. And this is the way I am, and I want to set an example to people with disabilities of the way that they can approach life if they want to. And also, a very important thing is, I really didn't know what cancer was all about until I had it,
Right.
And then I went through a 1.5 years of chemotherapy treatments where I lost my hair temporarily. It came back in curly, and I was very sick and unhealthy. And I met, well, comparatively to other people, cancer patients, I was very healthy, and it had a real impact on me, on living with people who were dying and very sick and unhealthy. And this is a big motivational reason for running for me. And I feel by running, I can really set an example for these people.
Okay. Were you athletically inclined before your problem?
Yeah, I was very athletic. I've been athletic all my life. I come from a very competitive family. I played soccer, basketball, I ran, baseball. Very competitive.
Now then, you have to use an artificial leg. What sort of an artificial leg is it?
Well, I've got a section. My leg holds on to my stump by suction. I've got. They don't build legs for running because I only know one other person in the world who runs over a mile on an above knee artificial leg. The leg I have is a walking leg, and when I walk I have a foam covering over the top.
Right.
So what I've done in order to run is I've taken the foam covering off, and in order to help bring my lower foot through quicker, I've got one strap that attaches from my foot just above the knee, and another strap from my foot up to my waist and around my waist, and they help to pull my foot through quicker so that I can have a bit quicker stride. But even though I've got that as it is, it's still not quick enough, and I have to take an extra little hop with my good leg in order to run.
Well, this must be very tiring, is it?
Well, it is a tiring and exhausting technique, but in the start, it was very hard on my good leg. I went through a really tough 7 months at the start, getting my body used to running into the stresses that it had to take, because I'd never done that before. And like I went through periods of shin splints, and I lost three toenails and blisters like you wouldn't believe. But I've gotten over that now, and I'm really ready to go.
Okay, now what about the irritation to your amputated leg?
This is a problem that I'm always going to have when I'm running. I've always had it, and I always will have it. I've learned to live with it. Sores come and go from friction, from sweat, and usually in the hot weather or when it rains, I get it bad too. But this is something I've learned to deal with it. I know it'll always be there, and so I live with it. So.
Okay. How many miles do you expect to be able to cover a day?
Well, I hope to start off at around 30, and then build up to maybe 35 or 40 along the way. In training, I covered between 15 and 25, but I feel I can do that as I get going.
That is incredible. Now, tell me one other thing. How will the artificial leg stand up to all of this?
Well, this is a really big problem I've had in training. My leg has been breaking down like you wouldn't believe. Every week and a half, a knee will go, or my foot will break off, or something like that, because they're not built for running. They're not built for the stress I've put to it. But I've got 3 spare legs with me, or 2 spare legs. I got 3 altogether, and I got a couple of knees and spare parts. But this is a problem I'm gonna have to deal with, and I'm fortunate because I got the War Amputees of Canada to help out. Anytime my leg will break down, or if I've got 2 legs breaking down, I can phone them in Ottawa, and either they're gonna get somebody from the War Amputees to come and take my leg and repair it, or they're gonna get me to an airport and fly me to a shop. Because, well, like between St. John's, Newfoundland, and Halifax is about 900 miles, I think, and there isn't a shop in between there. So if my leg breaks down, if all my legs are broken down, I'm in quite a bit of trouble, and I might get delayed.
Well, you have one consolation. At least you can carry extra legs with you. That's more than most of us can do.
Yeah, that's for sure. I can replace my knee, and you can't.
That's right. Now, when, Terry, do you hope to complete this whole project and end up at home in Port Coquitlam?
Well, I hope to get home in either September or October. The route I'm taking is 5,000 miles. I'm hitting all the major cities along the way in order to try and help the cancer societies along the way, raise more money. So this is when I hope to get back.
Well, we certainly wish you all the best. And you're going to start out when?
I'm starting out on the 12th. I think they got a time set of around 3 o'clock here in St. John's. Mm-hmm. And well, I'd just like to say I hope all the people in St. John's here are going to help me get across the island by pledging per kilometer that I run, and this way
I'm sorry, you guys. Well, there we go. There's our first Zoom glitch. Freddie, I didn't have enough photos, obviously, time to drop the photos in. So it was a great little ending where he congratulates Terry. Sorry about that, Freddie.
No, that's good. No, I think it was almost done. It finished anyway. And Terry just mentioned when he was going to be leaving on the 12th in St. John. So that's awesome. Thanks, Martha. And yeah, it's so good to be able to see those all those photos. And in fact, there's some photos there that I don't think I've ever seen before. So that's great. They're awesome. And to see the photos of places where we've been. I saw Allison on the call here as well, and seeing the photos of Aurelia there as well is kind of cool to see that. So so thank you. Hey, I'm up again here, and again, I just want to share with everybody and thank everybody for joining. And as we get closer to next Wednesday, April 12th, it's a time, it's always, I get asked a lot. I've done a couple of interviews already, and there'll be a day full of interviews on Wednesday, and often I get asked, by reporters and as all our family does, is, what does April 12th mean, or what are you thinking? And it really is a time of reflection of what Terry started back in 1980, and as I reflect back to this past Terry Fox run year in 2022, it was amazing. After a couple of years of virtual Terry Fox runs and not being able to travel, this past fall in September, I was able to get back out there and travel again for about 2 weeks across the country, and visited some of your communities, and whether it was in Waterloo or Aurelia, like I mentioned, and St. John's in Regina, and it was awesome. And I think we saw that in the Terry Fox runs, and those of you who organize Terry Fox runs play a huge part in bringing everybody back together last fall. It was a big celebration, and I'm heading out on Monday for another about a 5-week tour across the country again, mainly visiting schools, and that'll be the first time I've been able to do that in the spring for 4 years because of the pandemic. So we're really looking forward to doing that. One of the things I like to do, as listening to Terry speak and share why he was running across Canada to that reporter in Newfoundland, I think Terry's words are better than mine. I always think that way, and if I can, I wouldn't mind reading a couple of pieces of Terry's journal, if I can, prior to April 12th. And Terry left home here in Vancouver on April 7th. Him and Doug, and I can remember that day. I don't remember a lot of my time during the Marathon of Hope, when I spent a couple of different times with Terry, and the time after, but for some reason I have this vivid memory of when Terry and Doug left the airport on April 7th. And even up to that point, even at that point, Terry was starting to journal. And as we know, he journaled all the way through the Marathon of Hope. And if I can, I wouldn't mind sharing some of the journal from April 7th and April 8th. And we always forget what it took Terry and Doug to get to St. John's. We fundraised as a family, Terry's friends, our family friends. We did dances, bottle drives, and everything else to raise enough money to get Terry and Doug to Newfoundland. I guess they didn't quite have enough money to take a direct flight to Newfoundland, to St. John's, and they actually stopped 9 times before they finally arrived, landed in 9 different cities across the country. So Terry, pretty much hit every province before he even arrived in Newfoundland. So let me quickly try to read this. So it's Monday, April 7th, 1980. This is what Terry wrote. Got up at 6:30 a.m., washed and got cleaned up. Doug and Mr. and Mrs. Allward, as well as Fred and Teresa, came over around 7 a.m. We arrived at the airport with all of our luggage. At around 8 a.m. Immediately, we took the baggage to Air Canada to be shipped to St. John's, Newfoundland. Doug and I then got our boarding passes. There were several people at the airport to say goodbye and good luck. As we left to go through the gate, it was a very emotional moment. I shook everybody's hand and said goodbye. That included Daryl and Fred. I hugged Judy. She was crying, and Dad, and I last of all, Mom, and she was bawling. It made me drip a few tears as well. In fact, it was very hard to leave. It was a very long day. It took 3.5 hours just to get to Calgary. The first segment of the flight was the hardest and scariest of them all. Our plane was shaking like a jackrabbit, and we weaved through the mountains and landed in Penticton. The flight to Cranbrook was only slightly better. We were quite apprehensive on our flight to Calgary since the captain forecasted heavy turbulence, but it turned out to be the best flight so far, as it was quite clear in Calgary. In Calgary, we had about an hour to eat and rest before we got on the jet. And our flight to Regina was quite nice. Although it was snowing in Regina, we also had a good flight to Winnipeg. By the time we got to Winnipeg, we were totally exhausted. James, who is our cousin, met us at the airport and took us to Uncle Rod's, my dad's brother. We ate Kentucky, and this is one of the other things. I often get asked about what Terry's diet was like during the Marathon of Hope, and I'll mention a few things that Terry writes about, a few things that he ate prior to getting to Newfoundland. So we ate Kentucky Fried Chicken and fries. Later on that evening, Uncle Fred and Anana, my mom's brother, and our aunt came over, and as did Rick and Lori and Jennifer and Bob and Jerry, just other cousins. After everyone left, we sat and talked with Jennifer and James. Doug went to bed around 11. I went to bed around midnight. And that was the first day. So April 8th, the day starts again, and they're making their way to Newfoundland. And Terry writes, Doug got me up at 6:40 a.m. I went and had a shower, got cleaned up. We woke up James at 7:15. I ate Rice Krispies and buns for breakfast. We left the house at 7:45 a.m. and got to the airport at 8:05. Our flight to Ottawa took 2.5 hours. Our flight there to Montreal took an hour and a half. Clay Gamble, who is Terry's one of his best friends through high school. Clay Gamble was there to meet us. We spent 3 hours with him as he showed us around the base where he was training. He became an Air Canada pilot. We went for lunch at a very nice cafe. Here I ate a roast beef sandwich, chocolate milk, fries, and rice pudding. We also met two of Clay's roommates. Clay then drove us to the airport. Our flight to Charlottetown was a beautiful one. We flew to Halifax. Then we left there little over an hour later to St. John's, and it was dark. St. John's was clear and cold, -4 degrees centigrade. What a relief. We finally made it. It was good to be off those planes for good. At the airport, there were several people there to meet us, including people from the JCs and Newfoundland Cancer Society. It was a very warm welcome. Here we met Bill Strong, who is a very friendly person who would be at our disposal during our stay in St. John's. So Bill Strong, we've met him recently in the last few years, and he supported Doug and Terry right away, right through Newfoundland. We learned that at this time that our luggage may not have arrived, and that our vehicle, the van, which we thought had been in St. John's for a month, was somewhere between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. We also learned that the members of the Canadian Cancer Society and JCs were going to be of great help. After saying goodnight to Bill Strong, we went to the hotel. We watched the Montreal and Hartford hockey game. It would have been playoffs by that point, and then went to bed. It was 12:30 a.m. Terry says 8 p.m. Vancouver time. We were dead tired, but not sleepy. So that's just really quickly story, but a couple of Terry's journal entries a couple of days before the Marathon of Hope. And, again, all the challenges that Terry had during the Marathon of Hope started a lot earlier than April 12th. And if I can, I want to introduce Michael Mazza. Everybody's probably met Michael one way or the other, whether by phone call or through these kind of calls that we do with our run organizers and volunteers. And in introducing Michael, I just want to say that Michael's been with us for a couple of years now with the foundation, and I was asked at a board meet. We were all asked. Our family was asked at a board meeting in an in-camera session this past August. How we thought Michael was doing, and I happened to say, and I think Michael Rossi had asked how how it was going and how the onboarding process with Michael was, and I kind of comment, well, that went pretty good, but it was Michael that kind of onboarded all of us here at the Terry Fox Foundation, and it's Michael's involvement has been awesome. He's a huge Terry Foxer, and he's brought new ideas for us, new fundraising ideas. He's taking us to new directions, but always very loyal to our grassroots and peer-to-peer fundraising, and our community and school events that are very important to us. So if I can, Michael Mazza.
Thanks, Freddie. And thank you all for being here on Easter weekend, if you're celebrating Easter, or a long weekend if you're just celebrating a long weekend. For everybody here, I don't have to emphasize how Terry inspires us. He's inspired all of us. What I do want to say is, Terry, asked us to carry on without him, and everybody on this call has answered that so extraordinarily well. And for so many years, decades for many of you. And, I can't even imagine that Terry could have foreseen, what that 1980 would have done, and how impactful it would have been for people with cancer. Martha talked a little bit about the finances, and I do want to talk a little bit about that. So, in the first year of the pandemic, an organization that's dependent on peer-to-peer, face-to-face in community runs, it was a significant risk. And yet the organizers rallied around a strategy for a virtual run, and we did really well. Our revenue was significantly off in year one, but it could have been catastrophic. In 2021, we came and we thought, oh, for sure it's going to be in person, for sure it's going to be in person. And, and at the end of the day, there was, I think, 70 or 80 runs that we're able to do in person. They were some of the smaller runs across the country. And yet our revenue almost climbed back to where we were pre-COVID. And then last year, congratulations, because not only did we do what we set out to do, but we've surpassed our 2019 or our pre-COVID numbers. And more importantly, we've done this faster than most charities. There's still a lot of charities that are out there struggling because of the impact of COVID. There's a survey out there that ranks the peer-to-peer fundraising events across the country. And if you don't know yet, Terry Fox Run was ranked #1 in Canada this year. And that's the first time since they've been doing that survey since 2006 or 7. And that's so amazing. We love all the other charities, but there's a certain little bit of us that likes being #1, and we don't want to give that up. And so we've built plans to go forward faster and bigger and stronger. And all of you, you're so key to that role. So the hundreds of hours that you put into making Terry Fox runs happen every year is so commendable. And I'm so grateful to each of you for those efforts. I do want to say one thing about, so what do we do with all this money? And I just want to say it's always been cancer research, but one of the reasons I was excited to come to Terry Fox, just because Terry Fox has been asked by the federal government in Canada and by institutions across Canada to play this facilitating role to bring great researchers across the country together. And this ability of Terry to unite us in 1980 is still playing a role. And so we have brought together 37 universities and hospitals across the country in the first ever multi-institution pan-Canadian collaboration to focus on precision medicine. And this is a really big deal. This is going to change the way we do science. It's going to have impacts for patients. It's going to have impacts for researchers. And it's all backed by a $150 million Government of Canada grant. Now, we, as those 37 institutions, have to go out and raise another 150 million over and above what we're already raising through all of our runs and all the amazing work we do. But this is going to change science. This has the ability to make dramatic changes, and I just want you all to keep that in mind as you're slogging and doing the hard work that you do every year. That this helps people, and it will help people in a very big way. So, thank you for everything you do. Thank you in advance. Thank you for everything you've done in the past, and thanks for making us #1 again, because that's, as Fred said, that's awesome. I'm going to introduce Denise Diaz. She joined just shortly after I did, and is a whirlwind of activity and ideas and these extraordinary launch campaigns and shirts and celebrities. And so I will let Denise, as our lead in marketing communications, talk about where we are today and what we're envisioning.
Thanks, Michael. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen here, and let me see if everyone can see that. Okay, does that look good? Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
great.
I'm going to talk a bit about the campaign this year, and I think everyone has, I'm pretty sure everyone is already familiar with the campaign this year, but I'm going to take you through a little bit more in depth about the concept, how it's going to come to life in the community and in market, and what our plans are over the next few weeks and months. So the campaign is called Dear Terry, and it was inspired by a quote from Doug Copeland, who, as you all know, designed last year's t-shirt and is a great supporter. So he said in his book, Terry, before there was email, there was simply mail, and Terry Fox probably received more mail than anybody in history. So this quote is kind of what inspired the germ. It was the germ of the idea for the campaign. And so, you know, when Terry was running in 1980, everyone across Canada was so captivated, so inspired. They felt compelled to write to him, to cheer him on, to support him. And after he was forced to stop running, those letters came in by the thousands to Terry and to his family, and throughout the year. So we really want to harness that kind of power, that power of letter writing, that power of reaching out to somebody, expressing your thoughts and ideas, expressing your support creatively. And we're taking that concept of letter writing and bringing it into the 21st century and modernizing it for a digital world through a lot of fun, interesting social and digital activations. So I'll just read this last little bit, which I love. You know, a diary entry. Writing to Terry Fox has always been a form of inspiration in itself, giving direction to our goals, our dreams, and our future. A diary entry to the version of ourselves that we strive to be, the version that Terry inspires. So we hear this time and time again, how, you know, Terry really inspires people to push harder, to reach farther, to kind of be the best version of themselves, to really give their all the way that Terry did. So we turn every opening line of every card, letter, and note to Terry. So those very powerful words that we see over and over again, Dear Terry, we turn that into a rallying cry for people to really get behind this year's run and to really feel inspired. If they've never run before, if they've never been a part of the Terry Fox run before, if they've never supported the organization, I think it really kind of strikes a nerve in people the same way that it did in 1980. It kind of just touches something that's such a big part of our Canadian psyche. So this is the campaign timeline. This great big, area here, February 21st, is when Ryan Reynolds announced his partnership with us. So as I'm sure you all saw, a tremendous amount of interest, of excitement, of media coverage, of social buzz happened around that time. And so since that time, we've launched a pre-sale. We've been selling shirts in advance, which is something new for us. We've never done it before, but we really felt we had to do that to really leverage the incredible opportunity that an endorsement from Ryan Reynolds creates. So that's been going really well. We're very excited to announce on Wednesday the totals of the pre-sales, which is a very exciting number. And so Ryan Reynolds will be helping us again on Wednesday, on April 12th, to help announce that total and to let people know that registration for the run is now open. In addition to Ryan and his incredible support, we're also reaching out to many different iconic Canadians across sports, film, music, fashion, same as we did last year. So quite a number of those celebrities and athletes and people that supported us last year are on board again to support us this year. So we'll see a really great kind of trickle effect from April 12th leading up to the run, where we share those stories. Of course, we're also going to be sharing the amazing stories of, volunteers, of run organizers, of Terry's team members, of researchers, of students, of teachers, kind of all the different groups and audiences that help raise money for cancer research throughout the year. So this is an example of what we're doing on social media to really inspire people to engage with this campaign. We're going to be encouraging people to submit their own Dear Terry messages through Instagram stories, where you can either type or, like with your finger, write something. This is a social activation, but of course, people can also participate by writing their own Dear Terry messages on our website or by sending mail to our national office in BC. So again, this is another example of social, where we're going to be engaging with people, asking them like what inspires them to participate, how, like, what has Terry taught you, how has Terry inspired you, different questions that we'll be posing, and collecting people's thoughts and ideas and sentiments that we'll then share out again. This is what the website currently looks like on our landing page right now. On April 12th, on Wednesday, it will switch over to signify the launch of the campaign, and that will be this, where it's hard to see here. You can't really get a sense for it, but basically it's going to be a video header where letters and drawings and messages kind of fade in, fade out. This is also not the final copy, but it's just mock up to kind of give you guys a sense of what it'll look like. So when you scroll down, so that'll be a really like visually striking, moving header. And then when you scroll down, there's the letter writing Dear Terry form that can be filled out. People can either type their letter right there, their message right there, or they can upload a file. So if you want to handwrite something, snap a picture of it and upload it, you can do that. If you want to draw something, paint something, you can take a picture of that and upload a file that way as well. And then when you scroll, you can see what others have written. So we're planning to update this regularly, so that we can kind of give people a sense of, through like a carousel of images, what people are sharing, how, people are inspiring others. I imagine we're going to get a lot of really powerful and really amazing entries from many different people. I can imagine kids participating in this, people who saw Terry running, and everyone in between who's inspired. And then of course the shop page and a call to action to join the run. Also on Wednesday, this page will be live, which is the promotional resource page for run organizers. So I think in previous years, we were calling this the digital toolkit. We're now calling this the promotional resource page because it includes digital assets, social media assets, but it'll also include printable signs, the media kit, and other kind of offline resources as well. So that will all be live on Wednesday, and this is kind of what it'll look like. It'll have all of the different social assets sized specifically for the different platforms, as well as other materials, like I mentioned, that you can download and print and use on offline. This is a glossary form. I think that we've had in previous years as well, that kind of just shows all the different promotional materials and merchandise available to promote the runs. So everyone will be receiving this as well. I think Martha, at the end of this call, will talk about the next call and kind of the plans for communication. But I think what we're doing, similar to last year, will be sending monthly communications to all the run organizers with new promotional materials, news, upcoming opportunities, and so forth. So everyone will get an email with this material as well. This is the dedication poster. So this is what the dedication poster will look like, and the running for sticker. Our social assets, there will be plenty this year, so everyone can kind of choose and pick what you'd like to share. It's a really what we call like a stretchy campaign, because you can take your own message and, you know, put it on a Terry photo like we're doing on our channels. You can share what we'll do on our channels, and then there will be a variety of different assets available for download that you can use as well. I love this because it's kind of like a Polaroid look. It has that kind of vintage feel, but again, very personal and almost like a scrapbook love letter to Terry. This is an example of a cover that you can use for your social platforms as a cover photo. This is an example of a movable asset that you can share. I don't know if it'll play. Let me try this. Yeah, it will. So again, kind of taking that, you know, feeling of people's penmanship and handwriting, and making it really kind of fun and engaging. So that will be available. This is an example of our out of home and print campaign. So on the right here is a full page print ad, and the two on the left are examples of billboards and transit shelter ads. So Ryan Reynolds has been amazing, as we all know. His support has been incredible. The Ryan effect, as Martha calls it, is real. So he has given us a great big lift and push early in the year. And, you know, he has been incredible. Like I think that when he supports something, he really is all in, and he's very genuinely, enamored with this foundation, with this, cause, and with Terry's story. So he's been very engaged in amplifying our posts and posting his own, and getting his friends to participate as well. So here we have Hugh Jackman, and there was a lovely little exchange between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds last week, which got picked up in the media as well. So really amazing reach, amazing to see this level of, exposure for the Terry Fox Foundation and for Terry's story with these truly international kind of superstars, global superstars. As Fred mentioned, media coverage has been really strong already this year. We're almost at 800 million impressions, and it's not even April 12th yet. So I think this year we're going to surpass 1 billion impressions, which is insane. And Fred and Kirsten already have a bunch of interviews confirmed and lined up for April 12th. As I mentioned, Ryan is going to be posting again for us on April 12th. So we're expecting a great big swell of interest and exposure again on Wednesday. And like I mentioned, we're engaging a variety of different Canadian musicians and athletes to support and to rally around this as well. So just like last year, here we have like Michael Bublé and Tessa Virtue rocking the shirts. And so we're going to be sharing, though that's just a sneak peek of kind of some of the other fun kind of stories that we're sharing. And that's it.
That's it. Yes, it seems like too small a statement, Denise Diaz, for that's it, for this incredible campaign yet again. I know that there are wonderful run organizers who are super excited on the chat. Like, just love the chat, you guys. Thank you so much for this kind of live feedback. And I know that many of them have been around a long time, Denise. And, we've always been incredibly proud to represent Terry. But I think I've told you guys this before. When Denise interviewed for the job, she said, Terry Fox is a rock star. And that's how we need to present him. And you have done an unbelievable job, Denise. So thank you so much. Your team is remarkable. Denise's team is tiny, mighty. So if Liam and Melissa are on this call as well, kudos to you guys. You're remarkable. So thank you for making our jobs as fundraisers and ambassadors so much easier. When we're able to put forward this beautiful, emotional, motivating, exciting face to the public and use that to boost and amplify our own Terry Fox runs. A huge thank you for that. So the last this I'm kind of excited, well, quite excited about this because it follows really incredibly well from Denise's presentation about the Dear Terry campaign. As you know, you're probably all hearing from your directors of community development to register you for this year. So thank you for all of those of you who have a resounding yes that you've come on board again. And Kim, of course, in the Ontario office was making calls, and I sit right next to her, so I get to hear these amazing conversations. Some of them start with how are your grandchildren, how are your kids, how's your girlfriend, how's the hernia recovering? Like, there's a lot of personal information that goes into these calls and these relationships. And she came in after one call and she said, we have a new run organizer for Trenton. So the Trenton is a community here in Ontario. And she said, I just have the most incredible story. I can't believe this. And I'm going to share a screen, but also let this run organizer tell a little bit of her story as to why it's so exciting that she is joining us this year on this year with this campaign, because Dear Terry really means Dear Terry to our wonderful run organizer in Trenton, Evelyn Wilson. So I'm going to share a screen, but let me just, Nish, have we unmuted Evelyn?
Yes, she is unmuted.
Okay, so Evelyn, would you like to join us today? And you can let me know when you want me to share my screen.
Okay, no, that's great. I'm very humbled to be part of this. Hopefully you don't hear it. I'm at my parents'. There's 35 of my family here, so they're down below starting the meal. So I'm in a room, so hopefully that you can hear me and see me because I'm on my phone and not my computer. So yes, like everyone else, Terry Fox is my all-time hero, all-time everything. Back when he started running, I started to follow him because I had lost my 6-year-old twin brother to cancer in 1973. So I always was like trying to figure out what I could do. Terry Fox came along in 1980 and I started to follow him to the point that I have my old fashioned newspaper collection.
Your scrapbook. I love it.
Of stories through the media. And so like everyone else, I followed him and I was following his journey. I was 13, and the day that he was coming through our area, I'm still a little upset at my mother for this because I had piano lessons and she wouldn't let me skip it to go watch Terry. So I was a little bit upset about that. But I followed him and, like everyone else, was devastated when he could not finish his run because of his cancer coming back. And so like everyone else, the Dear Terry, and if you have it, I did, as a 13-year-old, write him a letter. And basically, like everyone else, mailed this letter to him with the hope, encouraging him that he would, get better and do it. And I think if you can see it where it says, I said, I will try to help you and do whatever I can. And So that was the start. And then that year, of course, was the very first, and here is my tag from the very first Terry Fox run that I had, that was held at our high school, Trenton High School. And from that point on, I just very much so was doing anything like everyone else. They did the Terry Fox run, doing whatever we could. And, you know, over the years, I took part in the Terry Fox runs. I took part in our hometown of Trenton and then in Belleville when I was in school in Peterborough. I worked at Expo 86 in Vancouver. I did the run there. And then in 88, I was in Australia for Expo and I made sure I did the Terry Fox run there and I always did that. And then I got married, had kids, brought my kids, got involved with not only the community run, but the school runs. And then in June of 2010, my 15-year-old daughter, Katie, was diagnosed with the same cancer, osteosarcoma. And her doctor at Mount Sinai, Dr. Wonder, he got into the field he did because of his hero was Terry Fox. And unfortunately, 8 months after Katie was diagnosed, she passed away, but she had the same determination. She knew when she was going to lose her leg, she said to her sister, here, you can have half my razors because I'm only going to have one leg. And if I'm going to go to the Olympics, it now has to be wheelchair basketball. So she had the same courageous inspiration. And we did the Terry Fox run that year that she was diagnosed, and we started our Kicking with Katie team. And then, of course, the year after she passed, we continued, and we have continued doing the Kicking with Katie team over the years because we know the importance of finding the research and raising the funds and awareness that Terry did and to inspire. And so Trenton, unfortunately, hasn't had a run for a couple of years, and we've had great community going to Belleville, but there's a lot of people in Trenton that want Trenton. So that's my dear Terry, because Terry has been part of my since he started, and I'm just so thrilled and honored to be able to get a run going in Trenton, because we've had some very successful ones in the past, and I know that we can get it up and going again to continue to raise awareness and funds. So thank you so very much. I am honored. And the dear Terry is because he inspired so many of us, and we will continue to inspire. Thank you.
No, Evelyn. Oh my goodness, everybody's like crying. So including me. Thank you. You know, it feels my mother is very religious and talks about God incidences. And I think that that would be one of these beautiful things that have brought you back to us. You've been with us for so long, and now you continue to give, and your heart is remarkable. Thank you. Dear Evelyn, thank you for what you do for us. Thank you so much. And I did want to share, Evelyn, I don't want to keep you, your family's going to kill you. And I know everyone has, as Kim said, everyone's got ham and lamb in the oven. Get going, Martha. I just want to share with you that so I must credit, huge thank you to Daryl Fox, to Daryl, Terry's brother. He has got, I think, close to 300,000 letters scanned in. And when we heard the story, Evelyn, that you had written to Terry and saw your letter at the museum in 2015, Fred reached out to Daryl, and Daryl found that incredible, letter from you. Now, there is actually a second one. And Fred was telling me, I'm going to share my screen again really quickly, you guys. So Fred is telling me, this is harder to read, but Fred read your the scans when Daryl sent them on, and he said he hadn't looked at them really closely when they first arrived because he was busy packing shirts, and then he was having dinner with his wife last night, and he said he was unbelievably moved by your letters, because there was a second one you sent, Evelyn, and this one was for Christmas, and Fred said he noticed that Terry's name wasn't there. So it must have been the Christmas after Terry died, and that you would have still thought of his family. What it meant really did mean the world to him. So thank you, Evelyn. Just could not start this year on a better note and with a better, you know, you are You are surrounded by love with this ridiculous group of Terry Foxers who have they have their heart living outside their body, with their love for Terry and for Canadians. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Really. Okay, my friends. So we're almost at the end of the call. We're at the fun part where we do a quick little raffle. I did want to show you though, I'm super excited about what everybody's Dear Terry is going to be. And this morning I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw an Instagram from one of our organizers named Lori. And Lori couldn't make it on the call today, but she had written her own Dear Terry message already on her Instagram. And it was so beautiful, thanking him for her life. As she is also a cancer survivor. So Denise, it has started and it is just going to be the most emotional year. I am going to have to up my Prozac. I am going to be ready, you guys. I promise I will not fall apart on these calls. But I did say to Denise that she's asked the staff all for their Dear Terry. So I did want to share my Dear Terry because Evelyn, it's not in keeping with yours. But my Dear Terry is, Dear Terry, I would have swiped right on you. So just keep it clean, people. I don't think Denise is going to be promoting mine, but
I will. I totally will.
Thank you, Denise. I'm super excited. Okay. All right, my friends. So we're at the end here. We're just going to do a couple of prizes. Door raffles. Okay. So Fred Fox is going to select. Fred, we have some amazing little prize packs. We have, I think, Kimber, if I want to make sure I'm right, we have 2 Timmys. We've got 2 home hardwares. We've got 2 amazing 2023 prize packs with like long sleeve, short sleeve, performance, like just up the yin yang with new stuff. And then like last year, and Oakville won this last year, we have $4,300 of merchandise that we are raffling away in honor of the 43rd year. We actually should have, I actually can't say that because we haven't announced, but anyway, $4,300. I was gonna say it could be even more. Okay, so Fred Fox, you're just gonna randomly pick a screen and a number. Oh my gosh.
Okay, is it my screen? I think we talked about this before, but I think maybe I'll pick the screen a number, but it should be somebody else's screen.
Okay, yeah, it will be 100%. It'll be everyone else's screen is Brady Bunch different.
It's different. Everybody's different. Okay, so screen 1, number 15.
Okay, screen 1, number 15. Kim Smith, who is that?
It's a staff member. Next.
Okay, screen 1, number 16.
That's Derek and Tammy in Waterloo for a $50 Timmy's gift card.
All right. Okay.
Fred
had a great time in Waterloo last summer, didn't you, Freddie?
I think I still owe Derek some money.
I think you do. Fred. That's okay, Fred. I'll make sure Derek and you get that back.
Okay, screen 2, number 5.
Is Zara Asani. I'm not sure where you're from, Zara.
Nish, are you able to unmute? Oh, thank you. Look at Nish. She's so good. Nothing phases that one.
Oh my God. Can I just talk for a minute?
Okay, Zara, 30 seconds because I talk a lot.
30 seconds. Okay. I'm an international student at University of Regina, and I know Terry Fox just maybe for 3 years. When I came to Canada, one of my cousins sent me that, and the reason that he sent me his story because I was 9, that I got an accident, and I found that I have the same cancer that Terry Fox had. So I lost my left leg, and last year, I started reading his story, and he's my hero. He is my hero. And I was thinking today, what exactly I wanted to tell Terry if I was in that same age. And I want to just say, dear Terry, thank you so much for being amazing. You are my hero. I didn't know you for a long time, and I wish I knew you, but I'm so proud of that, and I'm so glad that I have this amazing hero to help me, to push myself to not to quit and just do my best for other cancer survivors and other cancer patients. I mean, the thing that I just did because of Terry and because I know what he did, because I use prosthesis. And I think Terry said that in that video that he used the such prosthesis. I understand walking with such is horrible, horrible, because I have multi-access one and I just can walk maybe 5 or 6 kilometers per day. That's why I'm doing it now on that April run for Canadian Cancer Society, but Terry did 22 kilometers per day. That's unbelievable for me, because I know how much it can be hard. And that's not 1 year, 1 day. He did that for years, and he's amazing. Thank you, Terry, for being an amazing hero for not just for Canadian, for all of the amputees like me. And I'm so glad for that. I'm so lucky for that. Thank you.
Oh, Zara, thank you. That is beautiful. We're so happy you've joined us. Now, Zara, where are you? Where are you? What province? What city? What community?
Regina.
Oh,
In Regina.
Oh, in Regina. Okay. Oh,
Regina.
perfect. Regina. Okay, fantastic. Welcome. Zara, thank you. And thank you for your beautiful heart as well. That's an amazing, dear Terry. Incredible way to start. Okay, Freddie, that's so fabulous. Freddie, next one.
Page 3, number 12.
Is staff member Callie, so no.
Sorry, Callie. Sorry. Okay, page 3, number 20.
Is Abu.
Ah, congratulations, Abu. Abu, where are you from? Can you put it in the chat?
Yes, I am from Tudule Lake, Manitoba, and I'm a gym teacher, and this is my first year in this community. And I learned about Terry Fox when I came to Canada here. That is early 2001, and since then I'll just be a fan, and I've read all the wonderful things that he's done. And I'm hoping that more people will come to celebrate what he's done, especially the Marathon of Hope. And when I came in to Dule Lake here, is Indian reservation. I introduced it. I was able to get some t-shirts, and I was able to galvanize all the students, and we run down the community. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I want to keep this going, and I'm happy you guys, what is happening right now, all these Zooms, they're helping me more to stuff into my own ideas, how I want my next Terry Fox run to be like. And I cannot wait for Wednesday, when I will engage the entire school into the Zoom so that they all understand what this is all about. And I'm very happy and to be part of this. And it just, God is good. God is good. God is good.
Abu, I say, dear Terry, thank you for bringing us Abu. That is amazing. We love it. Love it.
Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Kimber, next one.
Next one. So Abu, you got the Terry Fox package, and Zara has the $50 home hardware gift card. Now we're back to another Timmy's gift card.
Okay, page 1, number 12.
Sorry, say that again. Screen.
1, number 12.
That would be Zara again. So.
Oh, I can't do that. No, sorry, Zara.
Zara's good with that.
Okay. I got it. Okay. Page 2, number 3.
Page 2, number 3 is Vern Hodgins.
Ah, awesome.
There we go, Vern. Vern, we hope you got your certificates of appreciation, and now you're going to get your Timmy's cards. Thank goodness. Okay, excellent. All right, so Kimber, and the next one is another.
The next one is home hardware, another $50. And Fred, just so you know, I have 4 screens. So if you want to do number 4.
Oh, do you really? Okay, I only have 3 for some reason. Okay, well, let's go to page 4, number 8.
It's a staff member.
Just go.
Page 4, number 1.
Oh, I'm glad.
Okay, Ian from Cornwall.
Oh, congratulations, Ian. And may I say to the staff, well done today. Thank you for showing up. This is great. Nice to have you on board. Okay, Freddie, next one.
Oh, got another one. Let's go back to page 3. Well, how many? 25.
So it says Heather's iPhone. I'm not sure who that is, which Heather.
That's very anonymous / exciting. Who are you, Heather? Tell us. Heather? Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Not on mute. You have to unmute Heather.
This is kind of like when you guys at the workshop and you're in the washroom
Minister.
for a prize. We can only wait for a couple of seconds before we move on. Lloydminster?
Lloydminster.
Lloydminster. Okay.
Heather from Lloydminster?
Yes.
Yeah, she's in the chat. I think maybe she can't come off mute.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see the chat. Okay.
That's KLAGES.
Okay, perfect. All right. And I think this is our last one, Kimber.
So the last one is, yes, $4,300 of revenue to kickstart your campaign would be going in your site. You don't have to do anything. It'll just go in your site.
Just go in your site. That's right. Just get slid in there, just super smooth. But you can start telling everybody you've already raised $4,300. Okay,
Yeah.
Fred Fox.
Page 4, number 7.
All right. Is Ken you?
Can you? Where are you from? Can you? Oh my gosh, it's anticipation.
Yeah, he's on mute, or he's not on.
Ken, put it in the chat, or does any staff member know who Ken you is? Someone must know Ken. He's on the call. He's V important. Okay, this is funny. We will identify Ken at a later date. We just wanted to celebrate you, Ken. We just wanted to celebrate you. Okay. All right. So a staff member, if we can put in Ken at some point or let Kim know who gets the 4,300. If Ken is somehow just stumbled upon our Zoom call by mistake, we will re-raffle this on the next call we have.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so listen, you guys, I think that comes to the end of our call. You are, we always stay on for a couple more minutes just to say hello to people, but we know it's a holiday and we know you have ham and lamb waiting for you. So, and scalloped potatoes probably, and chocolate. So thank you to Miss Nishi for being a spectacular host of our call today. Fred and Evelyn and Denise and Michael and every single run organizer on this call, you are spectacular. You make our world a better place and you give us so much joy and pride to come to work every day and be able to serve you and serve Terry. So thank you guys so much. Happy Easter if you celebrate it. Happy long weekend if you don't. And watch out for the next couple of weeks. Fred's going to be all over the place and so is Terry. So thank you guys, and we'll keep supporting you as best we can and never hesitate to ask or reach out. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. Happy Saturday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.